Hi everybody, I'm Rachel Mella for BodyFit Cumbria. Welcome to your 15-minute core session. We're going to start today with hamstring curls, so you'll need to be on a mat or on the carpet. Also, if you need a block for under your head or a cushion to keep your head neutral, then pop it there now. So, feet up on the ball with the toes up to the ceiling, starting with a neutral spine with the shoulders drawn back and down, arms out to the side with the palms up. Lift your hips up off the floor and then roll that ball in towards your bottom. Remember, you need to keep the hips up as high as you can, and as you straighten out the legs, keep it really nice and slow. So in quite nice and briskly and then out slowly. So remember, you can make this harder if you want to by adding, making it a single-legged one. So you shift the weight onto the one leg, lift the other leg, and then roll the ball in, trying to keep the toes up towards the ceiling as you do that, and that nice fluid movement, and the hips square to the floor. So lots to think about. Okay, so keep going with those hamstring curls. Try and keep as little pressure through the arms as you can, and remember to breathe. So keep drawing the shoulders back and down, and the movement as fluid as you can. Keep the hips up.
Remember, if you're getting a little tired, put your bottom down and have a little rest. So you come down and rest completely in between each one and then go back up again.
Okay, so you've got another 15 seconds, please. And we're going into half rollbacks next, so be prepared for that. Oh, you could make it harder also by bringing your arms above your chest. So you're destabilising yourself up here. You've got a little bit more to do to keep everything under control. Okay, so half rollbacks, you're starting with yourself sat up. So if you need to put your hands down on the floor to do that, that's fine. So you can have your feet down on the floor, or you can have them halfway up the ball, squeezing the ball between your legs. That inner thigh is doing the work as well then. Or if you're flexible enough, put your feet up onto the ball. Toes up to the ceiling, lengthening up, nice strong navel to spine contraction, and then you're lowering yourself slowly down to the floor, or as far as you can go before you lose control. So what we don't want is any jerky movements. So come down as far as you can go. If that's there, that's fine. And then you're reaching forward a little bit as well. Remember your alternatives, feet halfway down the ball, feet on the floor, okay? So as far as you can go, keeping the movement really nice and fluid. Keep looking ahead, keep breathing. And add that little reach forward as well. So you're getting a little bit of a contraction in your tummy as well as the lengthening. If you can get down to the floor, remember, do that. Keep it nice and controlled. Arms out by your ears and then slowly back up, reaching forward. You could pick up the pace a little bit if you wanted to, make it a little bit harder. Another way to make it harder, oh, I've run out of time, fingers to your temples, but you've got to try and keep those elbows back. Okay, from there, straight into a reverse plank. So, feet up on the ball again. If you've got the mobility in your shoulders, fingers pointing towards you or away, whatever is most comfortable for you, but fingers need to be doing the same thing, both of them. Okay, so hips up as high as you can and drop the head back a little bit and hold it. You can add a leg lift in as well if you want to. If that's no good for your shoulders at all, then please feel free to drop yourself back down onto the mat with a block under your head if you need it. Again, you can add in that leg lift. You can add your arms above your head and hold it. Squeeze the glutes, get everything nice and activated.
Remember, your glutes are your bottom muscles, so you're squeezing your backside.
Okay, if you're up. Oh, yeah, another alternative, if you want to take the ball away completely, is to just drop your feet down, feet and knees hip width apart, and do your box bridge like that.
And whilst you're there, another easier version is shoulder bridge, so you're down in the basic shoulder bridge.
Okay, lots of variations for you to go at with that one. Okay, and okay, so side lying leg lifts. You're right up on your side, the hips are going to stay completely still. You can have your hand in front of you for support. Rest your head on your arm or up on your hand. Your easiest version is going to be lifting, leading with your heel, lifting and lowering. It's getting some effort in the outer hip and some in your core while you're trying to keep that body really still as you lift your leg. So make it harder by adding the ball in. The ball's going between your feet. You're keeping your legs straight. Again, have that hand for support out in front of you. Keep those hips really still. Squeeze the ball between your feet and lift and lower. So keep those legs straight. The effort's in the inner thighs. It's in the side of your tummy, the outer hip, and your tummy, just trying to hold everything really nice and still through your upper body. To make it harder, a little pulse up towards the ceiling. Okay, remember you can lie your head down if you want to, and at any stage you could make it easier if your form starts to go. So we have another 20 seconds doing the side lying leg lifts. Just a reminder, you can, if you want to, take the ball away and just lift the one leg up to the ceiling. Again, you could do some pulsing, lead with the heel.
So looking from here, notice the nice straight line that Rachel is keeping. She's not leaning back or tipping forwards. That's what we're after.
Okay, so straight into a feet first plank without the ball. You've got your knees down on the floor as your easiest version. Drawing the shoulders back and down, strong navel to spine contraction, and keeping that neutral spine all the time, so lengthening up through the crown of your head. You can make it harder by taking your knees up off the floor. That's your basic elbow first plank without the ball. Okay, so adding the ball in, you come over the ball. The further away you come, the harder it's going to be. So you want to keep a really nice arrow-like profile, so straight from the crown of your head through to your feet, with no pressure in your lower back at all, and your tummy working nice and hard. So the further away I come, the harder I'm going to be working. So at any point, if you start to dip down or your bottom starts to go up, then you make it easier and walk your hands closer to the ball. However, that's okay. You walk yourself all the way away from the ball and add a leg lift to make it as hard as you can. Okay, keep breathing. Remember, if you're doing that leg lift, you're going to swap sides. We've got another 10 seconds. If at any point your back starts hurting, check that navel to spine contraction. And if that's still not working, walk yourself closer to the ball. Okay, so what have I got going on next?
Side lying leg lift on the other side.
Okay, so side lying leg lift on the other side. So remember, your easiest version without the ball. You're still nice and still through your body. You're still supporting your head either on your arm or on your hand. Hand out in front for support, lift and lower. So lead with your heel a little bit, and remember you can still do some pulsing. Okay, so then adding the ball in to make it harder and get some work going on with the inner thighs as well. So lifting, squeeze and lower. Good work. Add some pulsing in, but keep that body, upper body, as still as you can, which is quite hard to do when you're pulsing. Good work, everybody. You've got another 20 seconds. Remember to breathe.
Remember, if it starts getting too much, you drop down through the levels.
Okay.
And remember that nice straight line that we showed you before, from your shoulder through your hip, through your knee, out through your ankle. Arrow straight.
Good work, everybody. Okay, we're going to do some jack twists next. So, I'm going to get rid of the mat. Piece of paper. And we're going to come over the ball. So, again, you're kneeling in front of the ball. You come over with your tummy on the ball, hands on the floor, and walk yourself away. So, you want at least your knees on the ball. If you're any closer, then it becomes a little awkward. Try and keep your upper body completely still. Roll that ball in, squeeze the tummy, and then straighten back out. That's just a jackknife, okay? So if you want to keep away from the twisting for whatever reason, or if it's too difficult, just go for the jackknife.
Notice when Rachel's doing that, her shoulder stays over the line of her wrist.
Okay.
Shoulders don't move.
So really importantly, you're squeezing that ball, your knees in towards your tummy's working, and then you're rotating around to the side, keeping the knees as close as you can to the chest, back to the centre, keeping the knees as close as you can to the chest, and the weight forward, over your hands, and then straightening out. And remember to keep the shoulders drawn back and down. Come further away from the ball if you want to make it harder, or add and a single leg lift. So you're just doing it on the one side. A couple more seconds. Okay, and then we're going to balance. So you can come up off the ball completely if you want to, or if you're okay with having a go at rolling the ball in towards your chest, walking your back, hands back to the ball, and then slowly coming up, one hand or both hands at the same time if you can, then do that. But of course, you can come up off the jackknife and just approach the ball, feet and knees hip width apart, and come into your 4-point kneeling that way. Okay, so your 4-point kneeling, draw the shoulders back and down. If 4-point kneeling is what you're working on, then you're just trying moving your weight around on the ball, forwards and backwards, side to side. So you're used to feeling the weight come onto one knee, one hand, or the knees, and then the hands. If, however, you're okay with 2-point kneeling, come up and focus on getting yourself into a neutral spine position. So, if you're going to drop a plumb line from your ear, it'll come through your shoulders, to your hip, to your knees. Okay, so, if that's going okay, then you can add in the twist. Twist, lengthening, keeping those hips forward. Keep your gaze point out in front. And if that's going okay, then you can try shifting your gaze point, looking at your fingers behind you. But you still need to be able to keep that spine nice and neutral. So we're going to finish up with some press-ups. If you need to, come up off the ball, put your tummy on the ball, and walk your hands away. Otherwise, come down to the ball, down to the floor, nice and slowly, nice and controlled. Walk your hands out, straighten your knees out, walk your hands away from the ball. The further away you go from the ball again, the harder it's going to be. And you want to keep that really nice neutral spine as you drop your nose forward of your fingertips, heels up to the ceiling. Get as low down to the floor as you can. Again, the shoulders stay above the wrists. So the further away you come, the harder it's going to be, but you need to be able to keep your back nice and neutral as you do that. Keep it nice and controlled. Keep breathing. So you can come until you're all the way up onto your toes, but you have to be able to keep your spine neutral as you press up from that position. We've got another 10 seconds left to go. Adjust your position as you need to, forwards or backwards. Give me a couple more, everybody.
Think
One
quality.
more. And you're done. Well done, folks. Come back to kneeling if you can, otherwise just get yourself up off the ball. However you like. Repeat that session now if you can. Do it again. It'll be a solid half hour of core. Thank you very much for coming. I'm Rachel Mellor from BodyFit Cumbria.